Hello students, good morning everyone. Today we will discuss the concept of vertical deflection system, or it is also known as a vertical deflection subsystem. Before going to start this one, in the last video or in the last class we have seen that the basic concept of CRO in that block diagram, and also we have studied CRT diagram, and also what are the applications or uses of CRO. Okay, so today's class we will discuss briefly vertical deflection subsystem or a system. So first of all, it consists of two main parts. One is the attenuator, another one is the vertical amplifier, because the name itself indicates that vertical deflection system. So next we'll move on to the as shown in the diagram of vertical deflection system. First of all, the vertical deflection system consists of a attenuator, preamplifier and main amplifier as shown in the figure. So it consists of a attenuator, preamplifier and main amplifier as shown in the figure. So first block, attenuator. So attenuator means reducing the size. The input signal is first applied to the attenuator. The attenuator adjusts the gain of the input signal. Attenuator first adjusts the gain of the input signal. Means it will adjust the increasing or decreasing of that level of that input signal. It may be sine, it may be triangular, or it may be square wave. So just you have to adjust that level of that signal. Second block, vertical amplifier. The first stage, that is input stage of the preamplifier consists of a FET source follower, and the FET source follower has high input impedance as shown in the figure. This impedance isolates the FET amplifier from the attenuator. It will isolate the FET amplifier from the attenuator. Third point, the FET input stage is followed by BJT emitter follower, which is used to match the medium impedance of the FET amplifier with low input impedance of the phase inverter. The second stage consists of a driver amplifier and push-pull amplifier. The phase inverter provides two antiphase output signals which are required to drive the push-pull amplifier output. The push-pull output stage delivers equal signal voltage of opposite polarity to the vertical deflecting plates of the CRT. So this is the construction and working principle of vertical deflection subsystem. So the output is given to the vertical deflection plates. So the main parts consist of a attenuator and vertical amplifier. So in that it is again divided into the phase inverter, that is the FET input amplifier, and last one is the main amplifier, that is driver amplifier. So that will be given to the output amplifier. So next we'll move on to the horizontal deflection subsystem. Again it consists of time based generator, trigger circuit, horizontal amplifier and power supply. If they ask question like this, state the function of horizontal deflection system and power supply of CRO, or maybe they will ask state the role of trigger circuit and time based generator in oscilloscope, or they will ask state the need of synchronization between horizontal and vertical deflection in CRO, or explain two operating modes of time based generator, which one is used in CRO. So next we'll move on to the horizontal deflection subsystem diagram. So this is the diagrammatic representation of horizontal deflection subsystem or a system. Already you know it consists of a main three parts: time based generator, trigger circuit, horizontal amplifier, and also power supply. Okay, so first, in time based generator, we're going to start trigger circuit. First we'll discuss the time based generator. The main the main purpose of time based generator is to convert given input signal into sawtooth waveform, which will deflect the beam in horizontal direction. So first you have to provide the input signal into sawtooth waveform, which will deflect the beam in horizontal direction. Second point, it has two modes. One is the sweep mode, another one is the flyback mode. So that is also shows in the figure below. So this is the general sweep waveform with respect to time and voltage. So in x-axis you are going to use the time, and in y-axis you can measure the voltage or amplitude. So that is the sweep time and also retrace time. You can say TR stands for retrace time, and this S stands for sweep time or sweep mode. Okay, so as shown in the figure of general that sweep waveform, during the sweep time TS, the beam moves left to right across the CRT. It will move the left to right across to the CRT. That CRT stands for cathode ray 2. The beam is deflected towards right by increasing amplitude of ramp voltage. So that is as shown in the figure. And the fall that positive voltage attracts the negative electrons. During retrace time or flyback time, that is the TR, during the retrace time or a flyback time, TR, the beam returns quickly to the left side of the screen. TS sweep, TR retrace time. The control grid is generally gated up, which balanced out the beam during retrace time so that retrace pattern is not visible on the screen. So only in the sweep time it will be visible. So in the retrace time it will not visible. So that is also known as a flyback or a retrace. So next, second block, trigger circuit. So in circuit provides or produces trigger pulses by referring the trigger source. You can take some trigger source. We'll discuss later that one. The trigger circuit provides one more function: synchronization between sweep signal and vertical input signal, which is to be observed on the vertical deflecting plates. So again, it consists of three signals. First one is the internal, second one is the external, and third one is the line signal. So what are the functions of internal, external and line signal? So internal stands for INT. It is the function is to provide a replica of the input signal that is applied to the vertical amplifier. So name itself indicates that replica. So whatever that you are going to provide that signal, it will again replicated. External, second one is the external signal. An external input is used in this case. The sweep will begin at the time determined by the external conditions. So you have to take some wires or some probes and connect to the CRO, and you have to generate by using some function generator and connect to the CRO. Take the probe and you have to connect, then it will generate some external signal. Then you can measure some parameters by using external. So next one is whenever the input waveform is small in magnitude, this kind of the trigger is prepared. Third one is the line signal. It is achieved from frequency of the power line, that is 50 Hz. Whenever the waveform has fixed time relationship with the line frequency, this mode is prepared. Means what? Line. So directly it will provide, sometimes you are going to return AC signal, that is 230 volt 50 Hz. So once it will provide 230 volt 50 Hz, and the time and the waveform should be fixed. So that purpose you are going to use that line. So this is a fixed relation. 50 hertz is the standard you are going to use for what? Line signal. Third block is the horizontal amplifier. The output of that time based generator is going to the horizontal amplifier. It's working similar to that of vertical amplifier. It is required to increase the amplitude of the signal generated in the sweep generator to a level which is required by horizontal deflection plates of the CRT. And last one is the, in this diagram they are not given the power supply, but you have to use some power supply. So that purpose, power supply units provides voltage to the CRT and other circuits. Two power supplies are used, as the negative high voltage, that is the minus HV, and the positive low voltage, that is plus LV power supply. So next we'll move on to the lecture number 2, dual trace CRO. Just now we completed the horizontal and vertical deflection subsystem. So again, this dual trace CRO, what is the meaning of that dual trace CRO? We are going to start this operation. Again, it consists of 3 modes. First one is the alternate mode, second one is the chop mode, third one is the XY mode. So what is that dual trace mode? So dual trace mode, name itself indicates that 2, that is a dual means 2. In single electron beam is used to display 2 traces. Dual means what? Only you are going to use one electron beam, that is single electron beam is used to display 2 traces. As in the same way you can use in the dual or in single trace CRO, it display only one waveform and you can use only one single beam. So by using single electron beam to display or for 2 traces you can use for, that is called as a dual trace CRO. So name itself indicates that dual means what? 2. Only you are going to use one single electron beam to display 2 traces. In single trace CRO, you studied the block diagram of CRO, you display only one waveform by using only one electron beam. Again, it consists of 3 modes. First one is the alternate mode, second one is the chop mode, and third one is the XY mode. So this is the block diagram of dual trace oscilloscope as shown in the figure. We'll move on to the construction. The block diagram of dual trace CRO is shown in figure. In this type of the CRO, a single beam is split into 2 to produce 2 images. It consists of a single electron gun, CRT, electronic switch, vertical amplifier, delay line, trigger circuit, sweep generator, horizontal amplifier, 2 attenuator and pre-amplifier. Third point, these 2 channels are used to separate attenuator and pre-amplifier. You are going to use 2 separate attenuator and pre-amplifier stage, which is controlled individually. Fourth point, an electronic switch is used to pass one channel at a time into vertical amplifier through delay line. You are going to use one switch, that switch name is a electronic switch, is used to pass one channel at a time into vertical amplifier through delay line. It is also shown in the figure. Trigger signal are pick up from channel A or channel B. Or line or external signal. You are going to use 2 channels. One is the channel A and channel B because it is a dual trace CRO. Okay. So in circuit there are 3 switches are used. The switch S1 is used to select the channel A or channel B. to connect with the vertical amplifier. S1 switch S2 allows trigger circuits to select channel A, channel B, line or external signal, while switch S3 is used to connect horizontal amplifier, only used to connect the horizontal amplifier to channel B in XY mode. But in this figure they are going to use the S0, S1 and S2. You can change that one into S1, S2 and S3. Okay. So next we'll move on to the operation part. It consists of three modes: alternate mode, chop mode and XY mode. So first we'll move on to the alternate mode. In alternate mode, the electron switch connects to the two channels A and B alternately in the successive cycles of sweep generator. Successive cycles of sweep generator. The electron switch is controlled by toggle flip-flop. As you know, toggle flip-flop in the digital circuits or digital technique, or while studying in the basic electrons, what is the meaning of that toggle flip-flop? Okay, so toggle means what? You can change the 0 into 1 or 1 into 0. It may be changed, toggle. If the switching rate is slow, then alternate mode is prepared. This is also third point of alternate mode. It is suitable for low frequency signal. Alternate mode is prepared for low frequency signals. So second block, chop mode. In the chop mode, the electron switch will make several transitions from one channel to the other channel during one sweep. In the chop mode, the electron switch will make several transitions from one channel to the other channel during one sweep. During one signal or one sweep or a one waveform, you can make a several transitions. One signal into the one channel to the another channel. That is the channel A to the channel B. The electron switch is controlled by free running oscillator. You are going to use it here, oscillator, free running oscillator. If the switching rate is slow, then continuity display is lost. It is suitable for high frequency. So compared to alternate mode is only prepared for what? Low frequency signals. Chop mode is not prepared for low frequency signal. It is only prepared for what? High frequency. So that's why that continuity will be displays lost because of once the switching rate is slow. So that's why it is prepared for only high frequency signals. Third point, XY mode. XY mode is useful in plotting Y input, that is the channel A, with respect to X input. Thus, XY mode we get usually voltage versus time graph. So for example, if you want to measure the voltage as well as what? Your time. So that purpose, on CRO you are having one button. You have to press that button XY and it will generate one vertical line. So then you can measure that voltage or amplitude. XY mode is useful in phase angle measurement using the Lissajous figure or plotting VI characteristics of diode. You are going to measure some parameters. Once you are going to set that XY mode, you are going to measure the parameters on your CRO by taking your diode also, transistor also, or you can use resistors or capacitors. So these are all the parameters you are going to measure by using what? Your XY mode. So next you are going to use dual beam oscilloscope. So what is that dual beam oscilloscope? A dual beam oscilloscope has two separate beams. Each electron has its own vertical deflection plates. Each electron has its own vertical deflection plates. Two different channels either use a common time base for same frequency or two different time base for what? Different frequency. So what is the difference? Dual trace CRO and dual beam CRO. So in dual trace CRO, single electron beam is used to display two traces. In dual beam CRO, two electron beams are used for displaying two traces. And again, what are the differences of dual trace CRO and dual beam CRO? A single vertical amplifier is used, as you observed in the diagram. Two vertical amplifiers are used. Two signals may be or may not be have same frequency in dual trace CRO. In dual beam, two signals must have same frequency. Dual trace CRO cost is less. Dual beam CRO cost is high. A single beam can be used for displaying multiple traces in dual trace CRO. In dual beam CRO, multiple beams are used for displaying multiple traces. We'll move on to the diagram, block diagram. So this is the block diagram of dual beam oscilloscope with common time base. As you studied the difference, so next we'll move on to the construction and working of dual beam oscilloscope with common time base. It is same as your dual trace oscilloscope only you can change your dual beam with common time base. So what is the operation or a working principle of this dual beam oscilloscope? So first point, in a dual beam CRO, there are two separate vertical input channels A and B. They use separate preamplifier and attenuator stages. They are going to use separate preamplifier and attenuator stages. That is a signal A or signal B, or you can say channel A and channel B. Because of this arrangement, it is possible to control the amplitude of each input independently. You can control the amplitude each input independently. Second point, so only one sweep can be synchronized at one time. Only one sweep can be synchronized at one time. Also, both the signals should have same frequency, or the frequency should be related harmonically to obtain beams on the CRO screen. Last point, the sweep generated can be triggered by channel A or channel B, or signal A or signal B, or external signal or line frequency. So as you've seen, difference between dual trace CRO and dual beam CRO. Next, so these are the differences, some major differences you are going to observe: dual trace CRO and dual beam CRO. Next, we'll move on to the difference between single trace and dual trace CRO. So single trace CRO, it display only one waveform. Dual trace, it display two waveform. Second one, only one channel is present, two channels are present. XY mode is not present in single trace CRO. Dual trace, XY mode is present. Sorry, it's mistakenly typed. XY mode is present in dual trace CRO. Signals can be displayed continuously. Signals can be displayed alternately on two channels. It may be channel A or channel B, signal A or signal B. No need of electronic switch. Electron switch is required for dual trace CRO. So next, we'll move on to the various front panel of CRO. You're going to observe your CRO in your laboratory. So in that, there are some front panels. So first one, general purpose controls. Controls in the vertical sections, controls in the horizontal section, and controls in trigger section. So first we'll discuss general purpose controls. So first one is the power on off. Second one is the intensity control. Third one is the focus. Fourth one is the trace rotation, and fifth one is the calibration. So what are the main functions of these parameters? First one, power on off. The name itself indicates that on off controller is used to turn on or off the CRO. So CRO turn on and off purpose, you are going to use that power on off. With this switch, we can turn on off the AC supply that is connected to the CRO. So whatever that AC supply is there, that will be directly connected to what? Your CRO. Second one, intensity control. So in the front panel of the CRO, you are having what? One intensity control. The intensity control is a potentiometer which controls the negative voltage applied to the control grid. By varying this voltage, we actually control the number of electrons, so that are transmitted from cathode of the electron gun in the CRT to the control intensity. Third one, focus. The focus control is a potentiometer which controls the voltage applied to the focusing anode in CRT. The focus control is used to obtain sharp, well focused spot. You can adjust the spot by using this focus. Trace rotation. So trace rotation is used to make the traces perfectly horizontal with the help of screwdriver. Screwdriver. Calibration. It provides a standard signal of 0 to 2 volt, 1 kilohertz to calibrate vertical amplifier controls. So that is the square wave. Second one, we'll move on to the controls in the vertical sections. First one, input impedance or input connector. Second one is the volts per division. Third one is the input coupling. Fourth one is the vertical position control. Fifth one is the vertical mode selector. So what is that? First one, input connector. It is the point at which signal is applied to the vertical amplifier of oscilloscope. There are two input connectors, channel A and channel B. So that is X and Y. So we are having what? Two connectors. One is the channel A and channel B. Means what? It comes under only for what? Dual trace CRO. In single trace CRO, only you are having what? One channel. Second one, volts per division. The function of volts per division control is to control the gain or attenuate of the vertical amplifier. So on front panel of that CRO or on that CRO, you are having what? One knob. So that knob name is called as what? Volts per division knob. So if you vary that volt per division, what will happen? Your amplitude will be increase or decrease. So depends on that knob, you can increase or decrease your volts per division knob. Third one, input coupling. This is the 3-position sliding switch marked by AC, ground and DC, which decides type of the coupling between the CRO input and input to the vertical pre-amplifier. So again in the front panel upon that CRO, you are having what? One switch. Once you press that AC or ground or DC. So depends on whatever you want, you can select AC or ground or DC. If you need AC, you can use AC. If you want DC, you can use DC, or if you want ground, direct one line, you can use ground. Fourth one, vertical position control. This is a separate rotary control, basically a potentiometer used for channel to shift the corresponding displayed signal vertically upward or downward direction. Again, there is one switch, so that is vertical position switch. By using that one, you can adjust the upward and downward direction. So it is only possible for what you can observe on the laboratory for what? That CRO of that practical purpose. So in theoretically, they are given some sentences, but once you know how to use this switches, you can easily understand by using practical only. So not in theory classes. Last one, fifth one, vertical mode selector. The vertical mode is a rotary switch used to select one of the following vertical operating modes: channel A, channel B, alt, chop, add, XY. These all the buttons are available on the front panel of CRO on your laboratory. Third one, control in horizontal section. Again, it consists of 3 types main: time-based control, horizontal position control, sweep mode control. So time-based control, again it will indicate that time per division. So on your CRO, you are having what? Time per division and volts per division knob. So by using this time per division knob, this control is used to expand or compress the displayed signal in horizontal direction. This control is useful while measuring the time period and frequency of the displayed signal. You can measure the time period, you can use what? Times per division knob. Okay. Second one, horizontal position control. Again, on your CRO, you are having what? Horizontal knob is there, position, like vertical position control. This is the potentiometric used to shift the displayed signal horizontally towards left or right across the screen. So whatever that signal comes, once you on that signal, so beam position you can adjust horizontally across left or right. By using vertical position control, you can upward and downward direction. And last one is the sweep mode control. This is the selector switch used to select the mode such as automatic mode or auto mode, normal mode or single sweep mode. And these all the knobs are available on your front panel of CRO. Last one, main type, controllers in trigger section. In that first one, trigger source, second one, trigger level, third one, trigger slope, and last one is the coupling. So first we'll move on to the trigger source. This control is used for selecting the source for triggering or synchronization. There are 3 possible positions, namely internal, external and line. Already you studied this one, internal, external and line. The internal position is used to select channel A or channel B input signal to generate the trigger pulse required for synchronization. Synchronization purpose you are going to use internal. External position and external signal is used to generate the trigger pulse. In the line, the position of the trigger signal is generated from AC main signal, that is a 230 volt 50 Hz standard fixed frequency you are going to use it here. Second one, trigger level. A minimum level or amplitude of the vertical signal is required to trigger the horizontal sweep. So that purpose you are going to use it. The trigger level control is potentiometer, which adjusts the amplitude so as to obtain the stable display. Next one, third one, that is the trigger slope. What is the use of that trigger slope? The controller is push button switch marked plus or minus, which is used to decide whether the trigger pulse is to be generated corresponding to the positive going edge of the input or negative going edge of the input. So whatever one complete cycle you are going to take on, that is the positive half cycle and negative half cycle. So in that, once you are going to press that plus, it will shows the positive half cycle. Once you are going to press that minus on that button, it will shows negative going pulse or negative going edge. So that purpose you have to use for what? Trigger slope. And last one is the coupling. This control allows us to select the type of coupling which is to be given to the trigger, The various couplings are AC, DC and ground. So these buttons are also available for what? Coupling purpose, AC and DC and ground. Next, we'll move on to the specifications of the CRO. So what are the specifications of CRO? So first one, vertical sensitivity. Second one, input impedance. Third one, maximum input. Fourth one, coupling. Fifth one, accuracy. Fifth one, bandwidth. Sixth one, trigger. Seventh one, mode. And last one is the level. So what are the specifications are needed for what that CRO? Vertical sensitivity. A typical CRO has vertical sensitivity like 5 millivolt to 20 millivolt, or variable control, continuously variable control in between steps provided. Input impedance. So typical value of these parameters are 1 mega ohm shunted by 25 picofarad capacitor. Maximum input 400 volt DC or 400 peak AC. Coupling AC, ground and DC. Accuracy plus or minus 30%. Bandwidth. So this is the 3 dB bandwidth of vertical amplifier of the CRO. Trigger internal, external and line. Mode auto or normal. And level continuous adjustable. Thank you.